Hey guys, welcome back, 1776 or bust. So today is kind of the aftermath of the Caracal Enhanced F debacle. So basically, if you've been paying attention to the channel, I actually took this out. I had every intentions of running this 300 plus rounds and then comparing it to the Steyr M9 that I own. And I have to say this was a miserable failure. So basically what was happening was every single time I would run a magazine through it, I could only basically get anywhere from 2 to 3 rounds through it, and then it would lock up. And what was happening was a shell casing like this right here would actually get stuck inside the actual barrel. So it wasn't even being pulled out and then getting locked in the slide, so to speak. So basically what was happening is as the slide would lock back, or I should say reciprocate back, this casing wouldn't even be ejected. It would be stuck in the barrel, and then of course there would be a double feed trying to go in there to try to feed another live round into the chamber. Well, once I had that failure, I would have to literally fight with the slide to come back and lock it in place, drop the magazine, and once I dropped the magazine, and again check the gun to make sure there was no live round in the chamber, I then had to either go like this to it, or I had to stick a cleaning tool through the barrel to pop it out of the actual barrel. So I'm not exactly sure what was causing that. The gun was cleaned, the gun was oiled properly, so the lubrication wasn't the problem. I also checked my thumb to make sure that I wasn't riding on the slide release here, and none of that seemed to be going on in regards to user interface. In other words, there's no limp wristing, there's no improper techniques being used, there isn't a dry gun, nothing. So the real concern became with the amount of failures that actually occurred. So I wound up shooting 120 rounds through this gun, almost, and out of 120 rounds, I basically had 40 failures during the course of the day, anywhere from 40 to 45-ish around there. I lost count, and as the frustration grew, I actually shut the gun down. I just didn't feel that this gun was a functional, usable handgun at this point. So I am reaching out to Caracal. I want to see what they're going to do about this because, again, this is supposedly a brand new gun. It was sent to me directly from Boise, Idaho, so I don't see what could have been the issue. Now, of course, reading through the forums and seeing if anybody else had these issues, I actually had one of my subscribers who actually sent me an email, and he was basically describing the same exact problems that I had. He actually went and took his Caracal back to Caracal. They took it back from him, and they basically said that the chamber was out of specs. So, you know, it's going to be interesting to see what they say about this. And if that's the case with this gun, to me, that indicates a larger problem. That means their quality control is not up to snuff. And, you know, when you're going out there and you're buying a handgun, especially when you're paying your hard-earned money to do that, the last thing you want to worry about is having multiple failures. Now, I can understand if you're going out and you're shooting 10,000 rounds, and out of 10,000 rounds, you get maybe 6 failures. To me, that's acceptable because you know things are going to fail, especially anything mechanical. However, when you're only able to get through 120 rounds, and out of those 120 rounds, you have literally 40 or more failures to work properly, that's a problem. The ammunition also was not a problem as they used 3 different types of ammo. I used 124 grain and 115 grain. I used cellular and below, cellular and Balat, whatever they call it. I used American Eagle, and I also used Blazer Brass as well. So again, 3 different ammos, 2 different specs in regards to 124 plus 115 grain. And again, this was the only gun that day that had the problem. I was able to run 200 straight rounds through my Steyr, and again, no issues with that. So I'm actually going to show you some video of some of the things that I found, and I'll narrate through that. And then at the end, you guys can leave comments down below of what you think my next step should be with this gun. I had a lot of high hopes for this gun. I actually thought this gun was going to be a pretty cool gun. Again, when you have a gun that's designed by the same person who designed the Steyrs, you really hope it succeeds, especially if you really like those Steyr pistols. This may not be the case for this particular model. So let's take a look at some of the video, and you can leave comments down below when the video is over. So in the beginning of the video, I actually told you I was going to be doing some voiceover on this. I've actually decided to reconsider that. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to part with you now, and I'm going to let you listen to the frustration that happened that day, and then you guys can maybe hopefully get a clearer picture of what was actually occurring. And again, this is just a small sampling of footage of the events that took place. But overall, I'm going to tell you right now that from my experience with the Caracal Enhanced F, this is a gun that I unfortunately cannot recommend anyone to buy at this point. Again, I will be contacting Caracal. I want to see what they're going to do to fix this issue and kind of make this gun run the way it was supposed to in the first place. If not, you know, unfortunately, there's going to have to be some way to get my money back for a gun that unfortunately is non-functional at this time. Again, I hope you guys enjoy the video, and if you have any comments, please leave them down below. I hope you have a great day. Stay safe, and as always, everyone, freedom is never free. There you go. That's what the Caracal's doing. Another failure. Oh, shit. Three goddamn failures already. Failure to eject. 3 failures. Yep, there's 4 failures. Yeah, 4 failures in a row.
That jammer?
Look at this. Fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, push this guy down.
Full mag. And first one. Failure to eject. Again. Shit.
Try to go for a perfect.
Failure to eject.
Oh, hold on.
Double feeds and failures to eject. Every single fucking magazine. Yep. There's another one. Yep. Stuck in the chamber. Doesn't matter, it's just stuck in the chamber. That's nice. And again, no ejection at all. Holy shit.
That would have been really nice because you didn't miss.
Failure. Total failure. Total failure. All right. So I've had multiple failures. And there's another one. So that's awesome. So this is what's been going on all day. That inside is a shell or a casing that has not ejected. It is still trapped or stuck in the actual barrel with another feed coming in. So you can see this has been out of about 75 rounds. I've had this happen about 40 times.